Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. It's a nice 0 degrees outside and 30 something inside. We're not sure. The thermostat drops out at about 32, so we're not sure where the temperature is inside this morning, but we can see our breath nicely. We got the torpedo heater running in the background there, trying to bring it up a little bit so we can at least work in here without losing all sensation in our extremities. Today we're working in the master bathroom. Yesterday we tackled the upstairs hall bath. We got it completely gutted out, except for the bathtub. We'll come back and get that later. We also worked in the master bedroom. We were working around where we hoped there was going to be a fireplace. The chimney for the downstairs fireplace runs up through the outside wall of the master bedroom, and so we were looking around inside the wall hoping to find a fireplace. We didn't. We found the cinder block and everything. You see that behind us. We also found something else very special. What did we find in there, honey?
A raccoon.
Yeah, a dead raccoon.
Dead.
So yeah, that was the shock of the project so far. We found a lot of crazy stuff, mouse nests and nastiness and mold and all that sort of stuff, but we never found a carcass in the wall. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to catch that video. We'll put the link in here in a second. The goal today, though, is to tackle the master bath. It has all sorts of fun stuff in there in store for us. We got a vanity.
Yeah.
We've got marble tile.
Yeah.
We've got a jetted tub, a shower, toilet. Lots of mold, mildew, spider webs. Hopefully no animal carcasses.
I hope not. I've had enough of that.
Yeah, I don't want any more nasty surprises like that. So anyways, we're going to get started, and it promises to be a fun day. So here's what we're starting with. Got the master vanity. This looks like a nice unit, so we're going to try to save it if we can. I'm not sure what the inside of it looks like. There's been a water leak around the chimney, which goes down through this wall. And you can see some mold on there. We're definitely going to be putting the masks on here in a minute. Get ready to rip that out. And then, of course, we had all God's kingdom living up in here. Spiders and all sorts of lovely stuff. But we're going to rip out this bulkhead, rip out the drywall, see if we can get this vanity out in one piece. If we don't use it, it looks like it's in good condition, at least on the surface here. So we'll see if we can salvage that. Walking on into the back here, we've got the toilet. And you can see extensive use of marble tile all through the space. Again, heaps and piles of spider webs. We set off a bunch of bug bombs when we first bought the house because all these webs were full of living spiders. It was quite delightful. But again, lots of marble tile throughout, and then we've got a full shower, upright shower here, 3 jets. I mean, pretty fancy stuff, pretty posh. Stained glass window, we're going to try to salvage that. It looks like it was just applied on the surface of another window, so we're going to try to pry the trim out there and save that. Don't know if it's vintage, but it certainly looks nice. It's leaded glass, so we're going to try to save that. And then we've got a pretty swanky jetted tub here. I'm sure that thing is heavy. Looks like a monster, and really nice brass fixtures. I mean, this bathroom is very well appointed, crystal fixtures, and really nice, nicely appointed. But anyways, it's all got to go, right, hun?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing over in the master closet? Anything today?
I doubt it.
Okay. The master closet is right here off of the master bath. This is going to be a pretty simple demo. We're just talking about sheetrock, really, for the most part. I mean, we got a little bit of a closet here to take out on both sides, because this part is actually going to become the master bath. So we're going to reconfigure this whole space. We've got to do something about this electrical sub panel. At some point, they came in and put this sub panel in, rewired part of this into the house, and it's got timers there for exterior lighting, but all that stuff's got to go. And again, one of the reasons we like this for the master bath, you get this natural light and a great view of the pool. Amber's tub is going to go right here in front of this window, so she'll be able to sit here in the tub and look out over the pool.
Stop.
And watch her pool boy, me, clean the pool, right, honey?
I'll be lucky just to get a bath, you know.
At least you don't have to share it with the kids, though, right?
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's get ready to pull this vanity out. And this is the way we bought the house. There was all this wiring hanging out of this outlet. No idea what was going on here. It looked like somebody had tried to tap into this outlet and had some wires hanging out. I have no idea, but we want to make sure that this stuff is dead. I've already taken the tester to it. You can get these voltage testers at Lowe's or the other big box stores, and it'll tell you if there's any sort of current passing through these wires. And according to our tester here, everything is dead. So it's safe to go ahead and disconnect this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the outlets and then put some wire nuts on there, just as an extra layer of precaution in case somebody else would come through and flip one of the breakers in there and re-energize the circuit. Not sure what all is going on in here.
A lot of wires.
A lot of wire. This one's just kind of hanging out.
Kind of scary.
If you've never worked around electricity before, call a professional, okay? You see something crazy like this. I mean, most homeowners can do outlet replacements, switch replacements, that sort of upgrades, but you know, if you get into a situation like this, there's a lot of questionable stuff going on. It doesn't hurt to get a quick call from professionals and make sure it's going to be safe. You don't want to set your house on fire or electrocute yourself or your family. You have 4 wires stuck together in here. This wire nut's probably a little bit too small for 4 even. That thing was loose, would be arcing in the wall. Time you put a load on it.
Yeah. I've said this so many times, but it's a miracle this house did not burn down.
Yeah, you got that right. Where this is coming from. They had a lot of artwork in the house, and there were lights on top of the pictures, shining down like fancy stuff. And so what they would do a lot of times is knock a hole in the wall, run a wire down through the wall, and find an outlet close to it, and just tap into it. And that's okay, but the wire was not in conduit, the wire was not protected, it was just kind of laying there behind the wall. And it's not even wire that's supposed to be in the wall. A lot of times it's just like lamp cord. So not a safe way to do it. The proper way to do it is actually put an outlet box in the wall behind the photo, or behind the painting, and then plug it in. Okay, so you want to do things the right way. You can hardwire lamps, but again, use the right kind of wire, put it in conduit inside the wire, inside the wall so it's protected. That may have been, another one of those lamps because there was some artwork in the master. So we'll go ahead and put a quick wire nut on these just as an extra layer of precaution. You go to the store and you're not sure which kind of wire nuts you get. It tells you right on the package. This one says that you can do a minimum of 2 18-gauge wires or a maximum of 3 12-gauge. And you can get a wire gauge that'll tell you by thickness what type of wire you have. So if any question, look at the package, it'll tell you what you can use it for. You know where that stuff's going? Mystery wiring.
Can you put any wires together, or are there like hot and cold wires that...
Well, you've got a hot lead, you've got a neutral lead, and a ground lead, typically in your household wiring. So you want to make sure that anytime you're doing wiring that you're putting wires of like kind together. You got to be careful sometimes because you'll have switch legs which will take power to the switch, and the switch leg will run up to the light. Well, sometimes the wires get jumbled in the process. So you got to be careful just trusting that black is hot and white is neutral and that green is ground. You want to double check sometimes, and you can use your little tester like this or a hold ohm meter to find out if it's really correct. But yeah, typically you want to wire wires of like color together, so you make sure you got your circuit going in the right direction. Otherwise, you're going to have a spark show, and your breaker's going to trip, and it's not going to be pretty. All right, right, so we got everything covered here. This is just the ground lead for that. We don't need to worry about that one. Our neutrals are together. This hot lead's covered. Those hots are together. These grounds. Again, I'm not going to worry about this wire because you know where it goes. But at least we're safe working around this outlet now.
Okay. Good job.
Amber's tearing into the sheetrock. She already got all the trim off around the doors.
Oh, this is getting old.
It's what?
It's getting old.
It's getting old? Aw, come on.
The newness is worn off.
We've only just begun to demo. Oh dear. Little did you know when you signed up for this project how much fun we were going to have. Demo and carcasses. Is it carcasses or is it carcass?
I don't know. What is it looking at?
Hopefully it's just one.
I think it's carcasses.
Carcass sounds better.
It does.
And let's see here, we got the backsplash and the side splash off of the vanity. So now I'm going to try to extract the vanity top here. Figured out where that random wire went. Turns out it went up here to the mirror that's on the wall. That thing is illuminated, had a little outlet in the side of it. And the wires just pulled right out of the wall. So they weren't too firmly attached. I don't know who did the wiring on that gem, but it was not great. Alright, time to do the nasty. Let's get this moldy sheetrock out of here.
So we're exposing this corner in the bathroom, and there was mold on the surface of the drywall and on the wallpaper, so we knew there was a water leak, but we didn't know how long it had been leaking. Evidently it's been leaking for a long time.
Wow.
This is the chimney
Yeah.
for the downstairs fireplace,
Uh-huh.
and there's flashing around the chimney where the roof meets the chimney.
Okay.
Well, evidently there's a leak and a flashing, and nobody bothered to do anything about it. Because
Of
there's
course.
water damage in the ceiling in the room next door.
Yeah.
Water damage here. It's been leaking for so long, it's rotted the 2x4.
Wow.
Look at
That's crazy.
that. That's your wood. I mean, that's been leaking for a long
A
time.
long time.
So
All right.
that just goes to show you folks the power of water. As soon as you see water spotted somewhere in the ceiling or the walls, fix it right away. Otherwise, you're going to end up with some serious problems in the long term. That's nice. Oh yeah, there we go.
Good job.
There you go.
Wow.
There's your wall. Just pull it apart. I mean, thankfully this isn't load bearing.
Right.
It's holding up your ceiling, but it's not load bearing. The load's going this way.
Okay.
But I mean, that's in bad shape. That's all going to have to be ripped out and reframed.
Definitely.
Thankfully,
Yeah, the next one looks pretty good.
yeah, thankfully it looks like it all just ran down the chimney here. So
Okay.
this stuff next door, and this is just a partition wall, so this is
Yeah.
not load bearing, but at least the mold and everything was contained to
Right, so just right
this area
there.
right here.
All right.
Oh, good grief. Mold.
Yep.
Love when it comes off in big chunks.
Yeah.
And see, this was done later because it's got that fiberglass
Yeah.
joint tape.
Okay.
This must have been done as part of the renovations.
Renovation.
Yeah.
In the early
In the 90s, we're guessing. Yeah. Time for power tools.
Sounds good.
Alright, so now Amber's going to use the reciprocating saw to remove the door casings. Go to it, honey.
I've never done this before.
That's her first time. Yeah, let's see what you can do here.
See what I got.
Got it. Alright, now you're a pro.
I don't think so.
Probably come from this side.
This way.
Amber's upstairs ripping more stuff out of the bathroom. I'm taking another load to the dumpster, and give you a little demonstration here on how to maximize your dumpster loading. We've got this is number 4, our 430-yard dumpster, and we got a ramp going up into the dumpster, and then we got a ramp going up onto the pile. So let's see if I can get it onto the pile without flipping it over. Here we go, another load of moldy crap. Takes a lot of practice, but that's a great way to get stuff way up into the back of the dumpster. Make sure you maximize your use of space there.
So Amber has left the job site temporarily to go meet her parents to pick up the boys, and she's left me to my own devices. Sometimes that can be dangerous. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to try to get some more of this bathroom demoed out. We still haven't gotten that vanity pulled out yet. Still haven't figured out exactly what's holding it in. I'm guessing that this top was affixed after the vanity was set in place, and I'm also guessing that there's at least a few screws through the rim of that vanity that are hidden by this top. So the option at this point is to try to pry the top loose, which could end up busting it. Could try to cut the cabinet up into pieces, which, you know, I'm not above that. We were trying to save it, but there's a fair amount of mold inside of it, so it wouldn't necessarily break my heart if we had to cut it into pieces. The other option is to go on the other side of this wall here, which is actually the bedroom, one of the guest bedrooms, and actually open up that side of the wall and get to the back side of the vanity and try to cut it loose. So at any rate, I'm gonna pull down a little more sheetrock now and see what we get into here. I want to get a little bit better look at the ceiling structure because it's definitely got some mold in it. So we'll go ahead and get that pulled down, see what else is going on up there. That'll also give me an idea of the direction that the ceiling joists are running. I know they're going this way, but I'm not sure if this little wall in front of the chimney is actually holding any weight, or if the joists are actually keyed into the chimney in some fashion. So I'm going to expose that and see what's going on up there.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. So gross. Oh, nice. I wanted to expose the ceiling here. As you can see, the ceiling joists from the other room, from the front of the house, sit on this wall right here. And so all the weight is being carried down to the ground off this center partition wall. So looks like we're fine to remove anything in here. The only thing this section right here is holding up is the sheetrock and a couple of can lights here. So it doesn't look like this wall right here that's had so much rot is really going to cause us any issues. We'll be able to prop these joists up and replace this wall without too much of a problem. So that's some good news. So I've been pulling some of this ceiling down, and it's nasty. I mean, the insulation's all nasty. You can definitely tell something was living up there. When I pulled the last little bit down out, the whole top of the vanity is now covered in poo. I mean, it just fell out. It's everywhere. So I don't know if it's the same critter that was in the wall or if this is a different one, but evidently we've had a severe infestation in the attic of raccoons. And I don't know how many were living up there at any one time, but there's raccoon crap everywhere. So, like Amber said the other day, we're going to have to pull every bit of that insulation out of the attic and vacuum out everything and then go back in with fresh insulation. Unbelievable. Alright, so I got the vanity top loose. Thankfully I was able to pry on it just a little bit with the flat bar and get it to break loose from the vanity. So now I'm going to try to wrestle it up out of there and see if we can get this thing out of here in one piece. If it breaks, well, you know, probably no great loss, but it does seem to be in decent shape. Somebody might want to reuse it, so let's see what happens. This thing's heavy. Jeez. It's getting hung up on the drain rod, that piece of steel that goes through and hooks to the drain pull was hanging on the bottom of the cabinet. There we go. Oh. That's heavy. Really heavy. Oh my gosh. Ah. There we go. work out. The marble top and sink. This marble top and sink. Stinking heavy. Gotta get that thing out. And I didn't break it. How about that? So here's what was holding it in place. There's one screw there, there, back in that corner. So once I back those out, hopefully the whole thing will come out and we'll be able to rip this, rest this part of the bathroom out. Finally got it out. Finally got this thing out. Definitely sustained some water damage here on the side. So ultimately I don't know if it's going to be worth keeping. You can see why it sustained water damage. I mean, look where the water's been running down the wall there. Again, that's from that chimney flashing that started leaking. And whoever's living here just said, the heck with it, I'm not fixing it. And you end up with water running down your wall, moldy sheetrock, rotten furnishings. Don't let stuff go, folks. Never a good idea. Now that we got the vanity out, we can finally pull down the rest of the little sheetrock bits, get the area swept up, and get ready to roll on to the next section of the bathroom. Let me show you what's been going on here. So, this junction box was hidden behind the wall and hidden behind the vanity. As we all know, hidden junction boxes are a big no-no. Not exactly sure why this one got stuck back here, but that thing's got to go. You know, we're rewiring a lot of the house anyways, so that thing's going to get pulled out. And then you can see all the rot from top to bottom on that stud all the way down to the plate there. That's from that constant drip, drip, drip of that flashing. Who knows how many years that's been leaking, but it's totally rotted out that port or that stud there. So that's going to get pulled out. Even the flooring is a little bit soft over there in the corner. So I'm going to get the last little bit of this stuff swept up, and then we'll be ready to move on deeper into the bathroom and go ahead and get started on all this tile. That's going to be a fun project.